What's going on, famo? This is Podcast Agent Zero. Thanks for coming to the channel, checking out what we got going on over here. Hey man, this is cruise season out. Some of y'all might have heard of it. You know, this might be some of y'all first time, but the cruise season podcast is a pretty interesting podcast. They have discussions, panel discussions, for some of the episodes, and I've seen a lot of shorts from them. But this came out about a year ago, a little bit longer, I think. I don't know exactly when, but it's been at least a year. And the topic that they're talking about is: do women regret the feminist movement? Are they regretting it? And so, I figured this is an interesting topic for me to react to. So we're gonna go ahead and get this one started. Let's go.
Men are doing it, unfortunately.
Damn. Making man look bad. I feel bad. I didn't contributed to the tirade.
So that's the topic going on right down there. Do men today still take pride in being able to provide for their woman? This is good. Let's see what's going on over here. Let's see.
Yes. Queen, do you feel like men in this era still take pride being able to provide with a capital P for their woman? Why not?
Okay, say the pride. What did you say? Take pride in, Kim? Say that last part.
Yeah, do men today take enough pride with a capital P in being able to provide for their woman, man?
Some of them. I'm not going to say no. Some of them do. The question is, okay, some of them do. I'm going to be honest. There's some really good guys out there. He may not be stunting or flossing on the internet. He may be sitting quietly back in the bushes, working hard, getting up every day at 4 or 5 a.m., great work ethic, working hard to progress at his job, to get a promotion. Most women don't want to start with his baseline. So he gets overlooked. But
that's a good point right there. Most women don't want to start with his baseline. That's hypergamy right there that she's speaking on. That is true because, when people ask questions like this, like, do men take pride in being able to provide for their women? That's in general. So the answer, some and all that, doesn't really matter. It's about in general, in generalities. Does the common consciousness or the overall consciousness of man, does man as overall consciousness of all collective prideful or take pride in providing for their woman? And I would say that's tricky because there's a lot of men. There are a lot more weaker men now, so they believe in the blank slate equalism and feminism, or blank slate equality. That's what make them weak, and they don't really the types that actually take pride. But then you go in small country towns, all out of the city limits, and the everyday working man, they put their bodies on the line to provide for their woman and their children. And they take pride in that. Come to the South, my nigga. Come to these little towns and little cities all across Georgia. You see them everywhere. The average man, though. The average man. Everything out of his pockets to take care of his. So that's tricky. In general, it's have and have, but you're seeing it more and more often that a lot of men don't take pride in providing for their women, because when it comes to pride, that comes down to intention. Real true intention in the action toward that intention. That's pride.
Some men that will work 2 jobs to take care of you. But if it ain't coming in the right package, I think we confuse that with, no, they don't want to provide. They don't take pride. There's a lot of them that do, but they quietly sit back because they know they get overlooked. Because the playing field is not equal anymore. We want the biggest, shiniest thing that's out there. Whether it's a fake chain, a fake deal that they just signed, with the record label. We want a scammer that's swiping somebody else's credit cards. We whatever we can see, right, with the eyes, as opposed to just great basic values. So there are some really good men that are willing to take care of you, that do have pride about taking care of you. The baseline may not be the same as what you see on the internet.
All right, now you know I gotta hold you to the fire because you said something.
No.
You had to give a percentage on men who you feel like take pride and being able to provide for their woman, what percentage of these men would you say that is?
That would take pride. A percentage of men, probably, I don't give men credit this, but I'm gonna say about 60%.
Okay.
60. Okay. I'm talking everyday men.
See, to me, that word pride puts a whole nother vibration to it. So it's like, who take pride? There are some men that actually do it, but that pride, there's a lot of men. See, so I'm kind of going back a little bit on what, I said earlier. Even though I do see a lot of men that take pride in it, but what I'm saying is there are men that actually do it that don't actually take pride in it. They complain about it actually, and that's going against pride. Complaining about what you're responsible for as a man. So yeah, a lot of men actually do complain about that shit. I ain't gonna lie, but I can't give a quantifiable number. That's too tricky for me. I'm not even gonna guess that shit.
Everyday men. He may not make six figures. Okay? Why are you looking like that, Smooth?
Man, I don't.
His wherewithal. I'm talking about his wherewithal, right? Yeah. Go ahead, Smooth. I want to hear this.
So look, I haven't met a man in life. I care less how sorry he was that didn't want to provide for his woman. I haven't met a man in life.
What do you look at as providing, sir? What do you look at as providing? Just the money aspect, or other aspects that come into play that y'all don't even talk about? Y'all only talk about the money aspect. Because I know personally people, revolutionaries, that live outside of the motherfucking grid that take care of theirs without money. So how the fuck is he able to provide in that way? Huh? There's other intangibles here that we're talking about. And a lot of men make money and pay for shelter for their woman, but has no leadership skills. There is no real provisioning there. Provision. The man is the vision. He's the one that moves forward and leads the family. Provision. So if you don't challenge your woman on her delusional beliefs and, clouded vision of society, you're not provision. So you're not provisioning if you just giving money. Huh? So if y'all just stuck there, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go when it comes to what we understand what provisioning is. You heard me.
Whether he want to do it the lazy way or if he want to be a straight hustler and go get it. I haven't met a man in life that just say, you know what? When I get this woman, man, look, I'm paying my half, she paying her half, and hey, if she ain't got hers, we dead. I don't want no man doing it.
With all due respect,
Smooth, he gonna pay.
With all due respect, Smooth, they out here. There are guys out here. There are guys out here with 3.5 pair of drawers,
and they ain't even coming what they have. They falling short.
See, now she's talking about baseline. That's what Queen was talking about. Now, of course, I believe in women having certain standards. That there's certain places they don't want to start with men. They want men to be kind of pre-assembled at some point. I don't think nothing wrong with that. If your standards are delusional, that's something else to talk about. But as a baseline, if you're a pretty solid woman in the dating market, I don't think anything is wrong with that. You demand what you demand based on your value. That's just how it works. That's how you negotiate right there. Say I'm a 10. I'm not a hoe. I carry myself well. I'm feminine. This is what I demand in the market. I'm youthful and healthy. This is what I demand in the market. That's just how it works. And there are men that are willing to line up for that, especially higher value men. That's just how it works. So yes, it's nothing wrong with, having certain standards. But going back to Queen's point about prideful men, yes, there are prideful men that doesn't make that much, that isn't of high value, that take pride in taking care of their woman. So, it's two conversations right there.
I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying there are definitely some out there that are not.
Hey, I don't speak for the bums.
No, it's not.
Yes, you do. You said you don't know any man that wouldn't take pride in taking care of the woman. So you are speaking for the bums too. You said any man. Let's talk about English here, brother.
even bums. It's not even bums. Actually,
I think men to men they say one thing, but then when
Yeah.
they're with women, there's another story. Behind closed doors is something different.
but Smooth, it's not even bums. And I think, Trill, I told you about this before. There was someone that I was seeing that's a successful reporter. He's a successful reporter. And he literally was like, he want to go 50-50, at most 60-40. He feel like it's too much burden, too much pressure. And what do he need you here for if you don't contribute? He literally felt like we never dated. It never even got to a date.
Hey, he's lying. You know what the shit was?
He literally was like, but LA is expensive. And like, if you work, we could have $1 million house. But if you don't work, then we will have to live like, and I was like, what? I'm like,
So there's many different angles here. He might really think of he might be a internal feminist in a sense, or it could be there's certain things that you didn't provide, so he's looking for looking for that from you. What kind of woman are you by his side? Like, what kind of values do you present for him, or what do you bring to the table? Or he might be lying, just like Smooth is saying. But let's continue with the conversation.
you can just wait till you get the promotion to the main segment, and then we can move into $1 million house. And he's like, no, but we can move in there now if you. And I'm just like, okay.
I'm glad you said that. He was lying to you.
Why? What is the benefit of him lying right there?
Look,
He was not gonna do it for her.
She's an
so
attorney.
men in my generation, you know what I'm saying, has woke up to know when we get divorces, like when we be in long-term marriages and we get divorces from women, odds is the man loses.
All right, so the connection looked like it's a little crazy right
Yes.
here. We did
Overwhelming odds.
just have a crazy ass storm, but it just passed over. So let's go ahead and continue.
That's nothing to discuss. So if you never worked, let's say you worked, but you didn't provide nothing towards the household. Nothing. He bought the crib, he bought your cars, all that. When y'all get a divorce, you gonna want half of what he produced. Because that's a fact. He produced that. No matter what you was doing, you didn't put a dime towards it. Or even if you did, let's say you paid, let's say y'all was together 10 years, right? And 2 of them years, you provided some help because he was in between. He was trying to get it together. He got it together.
Okay.
All right, here go with the connection again. If this continue to keep going
Do
on,
you feel like
then I'll probably pause or something and see if we get back right. But let's go ahead and continue.
are entitled just because you provided for a 2-year span the lifestyle he afforded you for them 8 years?
Do I think I'm entitled to what?
To the crib, to half the bank account, to half his pension, to half his 401k. Because that's what entitled.
I think I'm entitled to whatever was earned during the marriage.
And that's why men.
Now, why do you think that? What did you do to make you feel that way? Why do you think that? Were you an indispensable piece, to create more flow in his life? Are you that indispensable piece? Or was you a fucking sitting duck? Because I'll put it this way. We as men, I think that's why some of the pride has died now that he brought that up, and I get where he's coming from now. We as men naturally, in the natural state, would easily take pride in providing for their woman. But, the thing about it is, like even in a natural state, if you was there and you kind of submitted in a long span, and let's say something does happen, I naturally want to make sure that you're good, until you get with another man, or you're actually doing some whole shit on the real. Especially if we have kids, though, I do want to make sure you straight. That's just natural. But the way the law comes in and doesn't really match up with, aren't aligned with marriage laws, ain't aligned with the equality that's taking place, we're kind of losing. Most men are kind of losing the appeal of providing for their women because of fear. Once fear come in place, our nature is disrupted. So why take pride if we go in that law route? Why? That's how a lot of men see it.
I want you to go 50-50 right there.
Mm.
Look, let me reverse it. Let's say, let's say you was the one that said.
I don't really. I believe that I'm entitled to. Okay, because when we look at the average man, okay, and the average male income, not talking about that person because that person makes above average. We look at the average male income. A very attractive woman can actually make more being single than being with you. If we look at the money, just the money. Okay, so I believe that whatever we both made during the marriage, not prior, whatever we made during the marriage, it was our, and I believe we should split.
But
now,
that's
whatever you may have accumulated prior or any type of inheritance or whatever, I get that. I'm not even trying for that. But whatever
you know what's crazy?
When we were together.
But what's crazy about that situation?
More money than you.
But look, what's crazy about that situation? It never works like that. Never. Say he get a big inheritance from his family, his mom's.
That never happens too.
He get land, he get houses, all that type of stuff.
What is this, fairy tale land?
No.
Why won't that happen? What is wrong?
That rarely. Are you serious, SBU? You know that rarely happens.
No, I don't know.
It rarely happens that this man comes into some random money.
It may not be inheritance. Okay.
People die and they have insurance policies. It happens
real quick. I just have a quick question about what Smooth is asking. So Smooth, are you factoring in children if she has children for you?
Who the fuck talking?
So
factoring in all of that.
Okay.
All of that, right?
Okay.
Let's just face it, dog. Like, no matter what this man do for you, right? If you sat there and didn't provide anything, and he like, look, I'm 15 years down the line, he say, look, man, hey, I'm done with this, man. Let me get up out of here.
It don't even just be about the man being done with it. It's like most of the times it's women that's breaking in the marriages. It's most of the times it's women leaving. And a lot of times it'd be about shit that when it comes to unreconcilable differences or when it comes to money and things like that, it's like you could not provide anything as a woman. And you decide to break it up, but you get half. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's that shit right there. You feel entitled even if you didn't even provide anything. Even if you was a hoe, quarrelsome, didn't take care of yourself, wasn't feminine, was rowdy and shit. It don't fucking matter. But you think you're entitled to that. That's the issue. It's the modern woman's hubris. So why take, and that it goes even deeper. Why take pride in taking care of that woman? We're not having that conversation though. It's the value, it's the quality of the women. Yes, most men, I'll just say this here. Most men will take motherfucking pride in being able to provide for a quality woman. How many of you are quality? Let's talk about it.
I'm saying you gonna feel like you are entitled to the house that he built. You entitled to the cars that he bought, the bank account he accumulated, and you will feel attacked if you was working and he was like, well, look. If we're gonna break down everything, look, we're gonna break down your bank account too. You gonna feel like, hell nah, that was your job. And that's what men has been facing for hundreds of years. So my generation
I think we should split everything. Both
my generation, and that's for you, and for you, like that's out the norm. Most highs gonna mostly go for most men. They're gonna come off a half of what they put on that table.
Right, but we looking at the average median, there really isn't a whole lot to get at when you make it 50K. I mean, it's really not that much to get. I mean, I think less than 30% of Black people are even homeowners. I mean, what are women getting? We always have this conversation about getting 50. What are women getting? What are they getting?
And what are men losing? Let's talk about both sides. Again, this is solipsism at its finest. You're coming at it like all splits are based, or relational splits or breakups are based on the man's wrong. So therefore, you're entitled because you're not factoring it in. You're just saying, what are women getting? As if all women are fucking right. Do y'all see what's going on here? It's subconscious when they do this. But that's what entitlement does. It clouds the vision to really understand what accountability is. Or the fact that you can even have something to be accountable for within yourself and your actions and decisions. You heard me. This shit goes deep, my nigga. It's a mindset. It's a collective mindset. That's what most people aren't really seeing. It's a fucking mindset that's running all this shit. That's the problem. That's what we got to break down and see through. You heard me.
If we're gonna put it together right? If we're gonna put the numbers together. If you're gonna play it like that, Caleb,
what are they
if
doing?
we're gonna put it like that, we all know this as a fact. When a man gets married, if his wife wants a crib, he will go through tooth and nail. He will sever an arm to go get that. If she
Or her, right?
And you're right.
Or her.
I ain't gonna say that's all the way true. There's a lot of men that don't really want women to get that career. There's a lot that do, but there's a lot of them that be like, hell nah. So I don't know. Yeah.
Right? You got the car for her also, right?
Look.
A majority of married people are still renting. So he wants that. I know he wanted. I want it for him too. But majority of married people are still renting. He doesn't.
Okay.
But even if he does, he's giving it to you, and you can't just take it back because you're getting divorced. Like if you bought me a car while we were married and we got divorced, you're not going to take my car back. It's obviously a gift and it's obviously mine. So I'm not saying things like, oh, this is your car and you let me drive it. No, it's usually, oh, baby, I'm going to buy us a house. Oh, baby, I'm going to buy you a car or us a car. So if you're putting it in those terms that this is ours, it is ours. When we divorce, we have to separate it. It's not like he's coming in, oh, this is mine. You in my house.
I see what you mean.
So I hear all the time in this space, right? The man's supposed to provide and all that type of shit. Now, let's say you working. Off your logic, let's say you working, you getting some money. It can be average bread.
Yeah.
Right? And you ain't put nothing towards the house. Your money was savings money for when y'all supposed to retire, y'all, whatever the hell y'all gonna do, right? So let's say over that 10-year span, you've been saving $50,000. You've been saving your whole everything every year. Okay. And then y'all get a divorce.
That's half his money.
That's think half that woman is going to come off half that bread?
That is half his money for sure. I would not have gotten that money if he didn't pay the bill. Are you serious?
That's not going that way.
He paid all the bills and let me save every penny for my whole, like I didn't pay anything. That is obviously half his money.
Fantasy Island, look.
That's obviously half his money, but I'm confused here. It's like if you're taking that money, you said half his money, but you worked. So I guess what she's saying is if I didn't work, I'm entitled to that money. But again, that's speaking entitlement in a very crazy way because, I don't know. This shit wild, bro.
You feel like that, but the majority of women is not going to want to come off that bank account.
Hey, half. No, I'm not saying all. I'm saying half. You're saying they won't come off half?
They won't come off half. Why? Because they looking at it like, oh, I done been saving all this money. Let's say it's $400,000 you done saved over this 10-year span, right? Because you didn't have to put nothing towards the household.
Oh,
yeah. You're looking at it like, I got to restart my life. You don't want to go stay in no apartment. You want to buy you a crib.
You got $200,000. Go buy you a crib.
You still got to pay for it. So you ain't going to want to come off half of that. Because half of that going to the house. I'm already coming off.
What the? Did you hear what she just said? You got $200,000. Go buy you a crib. What? Damn. So you just going to splurge all that on the crib. Okay. That's what you saved up for yourself, though, in 10 years. And then, it's split and then you just go buy you a crib with that $200,000. The financial literacy in this woman is kind of odd.
Yeah, because I got to pay that for the house. That's how women look at it. So men looking at it like, oh, no, I stand to lose too much.
So why would you punish your wife for an arrangement that why would you punish your wife for an arrangement that you set up? If you're financially capable of taking care of your family and should the marriage not work, why would you punish your wife? I don't understand your argument, Smooth. I'm trying to follow you.
Queen, first off, she's not my wife no more.
That part. Y'all ain't think about that part. She's not even in the role of being provided for. Did y'all even think about that part? She's not even in the role no more. She left the relationship. Just like if you leave the relationship as a woman, he's not obligated to your pussy no more. That's our commodities that we exchange. So if that's the case, since I'm paying half, give me pussy half of the time then. How about that? How about that shit? Oh, we don't want to talk about logic now, do we? Because one side is more entitled. Let's talk about it.
Secondly,
the
agreement was that money that you save is for both of us. It ain't just for you.
Yes.
That's what's the agreement.
Just like the house, just like the cars. These are our things.
That's honestly,
if y'all are just talking about boyfriend, girlfriend.
No, we're talking about marriage. When you are married and you have marital assets, whether it's your dollars or your house.
Prenup. We're just going to go by what's in the prenup. We're not going to. We already figured out.
Most people don't have no prenup. Exactly. That's not even real, Taylor.
But most people should. Okay. So y'all should go by what y'all thought was fair when y'all were on good terms, and when y'all on bad terms, still go by what y'all agreed.
Did she do that though? Did she say when it was negotiable for her, how come when it's time to leave, I deserve half, but when it's him, she gets to pick up and just leave without him feeling away? But he has to compromise even still in the divorce. When you said, I don't want you to provide for me no more. I want to be away from you. But it's like, I still want you to provide because I did some stuff during the marriage that I didn't want to do. So did he.
Most times that's when children are involved. You don't just see a judge give a woman without children half, unless you're talking about, what was it, Bill Gates and Melinda? But she's still at most times we're talking about
over 20 years. If she gets
the child involved has nothing to do with
most times
years.
Alimony and child
support are separate.
No, most times I think the examples that we're using that we see played out in the media, there are children involved, and most times women get half based. Yeah, they based on
often alimony.
No, but that's not what we're talking about. You guys are changing the story. You guys are changing the scenario right now. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You started bringing in kids, but we were talking about.
He said he was talking about kids. I asked him earlier. I said, "Are you factoring in children?" He said, "Yes, I am."
But that wouldn't be the same payment. That's the point that I'm making. Your child support is completely separate from your alimony that you would be paying your wife, the 50%. I'm just saying you're talking about apples and oranges. That's all I'm saying.
All right, real quick, guys. Let's reel it in.
We're just going a little bit more here. My bad for the stuck moment. A couple minutes earlier, man. We just hosted a recording session and there was a lot of smoke in the air, so I got the second hand, bro. This should affect me differently. So let's get back to it, bro.
Okay, this thing has gone on long enough.
City girls down 1,000.
City girls down actually. Well, hold on. Smooth and answered it. So it's on Kayla now. In terms of, do you feel like men take pride in being able to provide for their woman in this era?
I would just let that ring. So, actually, we gotta answer that after this. But okay, mind your business, Ronan. Jesus. Okay. So, do men today take pride in being able to provide for their women? I think a percentage of them do, but I think by large, men take more pride in themselves than they do, providing for.
That's not true at all. A lot of men, a lot of men think way less of themselves. They don't really take pride in themselves. Yeah, it might be a false ego that you're talking about, but it's not real pride. Real pride is being able to stand up to your responsibilities, and therefore you would take pride in taking care or providing for your woman. That's just how it goes. So maybe she's talking about pride in a different way, but if you're talking about pride in a sense of, um, in the sense of you're talking about like pride for taking care of your woman, then they don't have pride in themselves. They just don't. If they don't have pride in taking care of the woman, that's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. You want to step up to the plate if you have real pride for yourself.
For their woman. I think a lot of men have a mentality when it comes to providing their woman. Sometimes it's not even in the pride of providing for her. It's for their ego. It's like, I'm that guy. I was able to, ice my woman with blah, 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 blah. It's more about their ego. It's just like being in a club. Like, I'm able to throw more money than you. I'm able to have more bottles than you. Or a lot of the situations in this generation is often about proving himself and his value as a man and what he can do and how he's on and how he got a bag. And the pride is in that. Then I think it is in, I get to see her taken care of. I get to make sure she is good and she is straight. She doesn't have worries. She doesn't have stresses. I don't think that thought process is behind it for a lot of men. But I do think there are some, like, my dad and my stepdad, they definitely, but over by large, I think it's more about self than it is about her.
I kind of get her perspective right there. I kind of see what she's saying. I see that sometimes in, at least through the music, the realm of hip hop. That is implied in a lot of the music. You can tell by which angle that a lot of men are coming from when they speak about, providing for their woman. It's more of a flex than actually seeing their woman being taken care of, because they don't even come at it at that angle when they express it a lot of the times. If you barely hear it, make sure my woman good. Sometimes they say that, but it ain't in the realm that she's saying. So yeah, I kind of agree with that a little bit with a lot of men of this era.
And it's more about showing off in terms of who he is as a man than it is about her comfort, All
right, well said. That's B. Do men in this era take pride in being able to provide for their woman, in your opinion?
I think if they actually could provide, then they would actually take pride in it. But
all right, so we about to go ahead and get out of here, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I know I had a little some pause moments right there. Nigga tired and caught some secondhand, so it is what it is, man. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that. If y'all want me to react to anything that y'all have in mind, go ahead and share in the comments, and I'll take a look at it, and I might go ahead and react to some of the videos that y'all recommend. So I hope y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all tuning in. See y'all next time.